Well, my Uncle Edgar Hudgins he had a saying, said, take care of those Brahman cows and they'll take care of you. And I've kind of always lived by that saying. We do the best we can to take care of them, and they have taken care of us all our lives.
I can say that there is probably a lot easier ways to make a living, and there's a lot more profitable ways to make a living, but I'm not sure if there's a better way to make a living. I think you see a lot of ranchers live to be a pretty old age because they really don't retire, and they're needed, somewhere. They've got a herd of cows to look after. They've got a piece of land that they're trying to improve.
When I got out of college and came back home to ranch, my father pretty well turned things over to me, as I have to my son John. I guess one goes full circle, and so I'm back to taking orders as I was once before. I take orders from my son like I did from my father. We both have our own areas of expertise in our business, and I think we complement one another very well. John's got the knowledge to move him forward, and I guess I've got the experience to hold him back a little bit sometimes when he gets out a little far ahead of the herd, which is not very often. I think the thing that makes me most proud of my son John is the way he has risen to the occasion as far as being innovative and open-minded and receptive to new ideas and new ways of thinking.
I can guarantee you any rancher that is destroying his land with his cattle is not going to be in business very long, and he probably hasn't been in business for very long. If you do things that degrade the land when you're running cattle, it's just going to be harder and harder and harder to ranch. Grasslands, I think, have more to offer than rainforests as far as fixing carbon and that sort of stuff. Especially when you do a lot of controlled grazing, and you can put more carbon back in the soil, which then is beneficial to your soil and your plants and your animals. Our controlled grazing, it's allowed us to quit using herbicides. I really do feel like since we've been doing that, the positive impact we've had on our soil and our land has been really, really good. In my mind, if it's good for the environment, it's going to be good for the cattle, and if it's good for the cattle, it's going to be good for us. The most rewarding thing is you have a fruit of your labor. You have a bull, you watch them be born, and you wean them, you hold on to them, you develop them. And so you graze these bulls, you watch their personalities develop, and you get them to the point to where you look at them when they're 2 years old and you say, wow, I never knew he would be this good. But that's not the best part. The best part is when you sell that bull, and then 2 years after that, the guy that bought him calls and he's ranting and raving about how great his calves are. And you know that you had a hand in every single aspect of that. And then when you see how happy that makes people with where they're going with their own operation, that's a really good feeling.
I always wanted to ranch. I never even thought about doing anything different. To be closely involved with the land and the cattle, the horses, the animals that we deal with is such a privilege. And these cows almost get to be family. We feel like they're part of our family almost.
In a lot of ways, the ultimate test of sustainability is romancing the next generation. The most important thing is I want to have children, or I want to have somebody to pass it on to that are thoughtful and that they think about their decisions and think about how they might impact others. Stop and think about things. Think about what you're doing, what impact is it having on animals and the environment, and be patient. To never forget that integrity and a reputation is important